Welcome to the Rocket Rewind, the show where we get together and talk about things that matter, things that are interesting, and shit that might just blow your mind. Yeah, they're our opinions, and you don't have to like them. We might not like yours either, but feel free to share them in the live chat. This is America, where we have free speech, cancel culture, Karens and Darrens, all working together in such super sweet harmony. Yeah, right. Sometimes the things we talk about might help restore our faith in humanity, but all too often it's going to be stuff that might piss you off like it does us. Make sure you have your grown-up panties on and come join the conversation. Oh yeah, and make sure you subscribe and turn on those notifications. You don't want to miss this weekly dose of provocative discussion. The Rocket Rewind, Sundays at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. Let's get into it. Viewer discretion is advised.
Happy Sunday.
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
What's up?
Not too much.
So before we get too far into it, let's show off a couple of things here real quick. Let's bring Megan up full screen. She's got a new sign, yo. Check it out. Sunflower Squad. Yes, Sunflower Squad. And then Jamie did not move. He's still in the same room. He just redid the whole thing, repainted it and all that stuff.
I like your models on the shelf there. That looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Most of those were all done when I was in my teens, kid. So
that's
awesome.
That.
I like that that car with the flames on it up there. That looks badass. That black with the flame.
Oh, the old 57 Chevy up here. Yeah.
Check it
56
out.
or 57? I can't see it.
That's 57.
Oh, okay.
57.
That's back when I was a kid.
It's almost as old as you are.
It probably is as old as Megan is.
Yeah. All them youngins. All them youngins.
I'd be old and you know it.
Yes. Yes, Chris, it is. Jamie's beard is growing back nicely. Yes.
Thank God.
It is coming back. Let's see.
We're having the battle of the beards.
Yeah, for real. Not over here, not around my house. Megan and I will be the clean-faced ones, and y'all can have the beards. How's that?
Okay.
There you go.
I see where Blade was here earlier. He is, of course, streaming on Twitch right now, doing some gaming. So he's not gonna be in the chat, but I do appreciate him popping in and hitting that like button for us. Stu Dorman was here. Southpaw 73. What it do? Dragon Man Assassin's here. What's up? Linda K's here. What's up, Linda? Good to see you. Colonel Indiana Long Nuts, one of my most favorite names to say, is here. Chris Talbert is here, hanging out on YouTube and Facebook at the same time. Appreciate that, Chris. We got Carl over here. What's up, brother? Good to see you. There's Chris, of course. What's up, Chris? Welcome to the stream. We got Steve and Megan and Jamie in the chat also. There's Marcy B. What's up, Marcy? How's things over there in Limestone County? I hadn't been over there in a minute. It's been about 3 or 4 days since I had to come that way for any work. I think they forgot I like to work over there, man. I hadn't got no papers to deliver over there.
Everybody paying their bills over there.
I guess so, man. I don't know. It's been pretty busy around the Madison, Harvest, Huntsville area, though. Thank goodness. So that's keeping me busy. Jorge, what's up, brother? Welcome to the stream. So before we get into our main story, there is something local that I wanted to kind of bring up. There's not a whole lot of info on it, but I did want to kind of touch on it. Is there any special updates any of you need to give before we get started on anything? We showed off the sexy sign in the sexy new room.
Yeah.
I got a couple new vehicles. I mean, other than that,
Oh, that you put together?
No, I found them in an antique
Oh.
shop. They're collectors. I
Oh,
got this vet.
Look at that.
I got this 57 vet. I got this badass thing right here. I think you'll like this.
Oh,
I got this one.
man, I like that color.
I know it's nice.
Yeah,
Isn't
it is a nice
Things-
color.
Look at that.
yeah.
It's a 49 Mercury.
Oh man,
Love them cars, man. I got this F-150 and I got a Hess fire truck over there. It's actually from 1989. The light still lights up and the siren still works.
You know, when I was little, my grandfather in South Carolina gave me a Hess gas truck, like gas tanker truck. It said Hess on it.
Oh yeah,
I used to love that thing. Yeah.
I still have mine. I actually got about 4 or 5 of them in storage still. But you go to there's a couple the antique stores around here. I mean, they have walls and walls of them. It's amazing, and they're still in the boxes.
Huh?
Yeah,
They charge a lot for them. Or
they're as much now as they were when they were new 30 years ago.
Huh?
$45 a box for a vehicle.
They
Yeah.
can charge more than that, but thankfully
they
for you, they don't.
I know, right?
if you're watching and you want to sponsor Steve with some free cars at your antique shop, he might say the name of the place,
Damn right.
but you got to cut him a break next time.
That's right.
Miss Diamond's here. What's up, Miss Diamond? Good to see you. John Wayne is here. What's up, John? So there was some sad news out of Coleman County that came up that I want to touch on. I didn't know either of these people. I'm not in Coleman County very often. Now, just for a little bit of background,
Wow.
years and years ago, Adam, our friend Adam, who's passed away, he was a deputy sheriff in Coleman County. That's where he's deputy sheriff at. But so both of these folks worked at the sheriff's department as a deputy, and I believe they said she was a shift supervisor. But Deputy Kenneth Booth shot and killed a shift supervisor named Lexi White, then took his own life during an argument. The two were in a relationship, according to the sheriff, and the shooting happened in Orange Beach. I guess on a little vacation trip or whatever. But the Orange Beach Police Department is investigating, and they haven't put out any further information. They probably won't put out a whole lot, but it's one of them.
That's an unfortunate story.
Sad, yeah, one of those sad things. And that I talk about that because it involves gun violence, but do you think it was the fact that this guy had a gun that made him kill her?
No.
Or was it the fact that there was some kind of obviously mental breakdown happening in this argument?
It had to be mental because if he didn't have a gun, he would use something else.
Right. Yep. Doolin, what's up, man? Welcome to the stream. I see you are taking a break from Starfield for a little bit. Same as I am, because I'm gonna tell y'all now. Today's been a lazy ass day for me, right? I'm still. I laid around in a t-shirt and shorts pretty much most of the day. I took 2 naps today.
Oh yeah.
I didn't do shit. I probably could have cut my lawn, but I decided not to do that. The only thing I did was nap, eat a couple of times, and play some Starfield, because I'm going to tell you, Starfield is a badass game. I really like it. I like it. Doolin said that's a lie. He's logging in now.
Of course he is.
Yeah,
they make a 12-step program for addicts.
Yeah. Stacy, I appreciate you joining us. So Stacy is having to work, and where he's at, when he goes back in, he cannot have his phone, so he's not able to even join us by phone or anything. But I do appreciate you popping in and saying hello there, Stacy. We're gonna miss you this week. Joe Boyd's here over on Facebook. Thank you so much, Joe. Appreciate that. Southpaw said 2 naps. Onyx, you old bag. Look, don't be jealous because you didn't take 2 naps. If you do it right, you can take 2 naps. But I woke up at 5:30 this morning.
Oh my God! You know what I was doing at 5:30 this morning?
Still asleep?
I was sleeping.
Yeah. Yeah. No problem there, Stacy. No problem, brother. Yeah, I saw what you put in the Discord there. But I do appreciate you popping in for us. So sad news from Coleman County Sheriff's Department that they lost 2 employees. One was murdered and the other took their own life.
That's so sad.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. And our main topic today deals with the Second Amendment, which of course is the right to keep and bear arms. And I kind of feel like Steve hit it on the head there. If you want to kill somebody and you don't have a gun, you're gonna use something else.
Mhm.
I mean, a gun is a tool. It's not evil in and of itself. It like anything else can be used for evil by a human being. And so what we're going to talk about in a little bit ties in with this. So that's another reason why I wanted to kind of bring this story up. But I do have a couple of good news things that I wanted to share. Well, one good news for sure. The other one is kind of comical at first, but then scary later. But let me pull this one up. This is. Oh, hold on. Mute. Pause. Full screen. So this comes out of Salisbury, North Carolina. Linda says, as a survivor of gun violence, cops always have guns at home. Yes. Well, I mean, we have the ability to have those firearms to protect ourselves, Stacey said he can kill you with antifreeze, and that's 1/68 the price of a gun. That's true. All right, but this comes out of Salisbury, North Carolina, where an officer saw a vehicle that had wrecked. It looks like the guy was unresponsive when the officer runs up, and there are flames, as you can see. And he actually saves this guy's life. This happened back on August the 8th.
Hey, sir, you need to get out of the truck. Sir. Come on out.
You can see the flames up there on the engine.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Dang.
Oh, that's cool. He saved this guy's life.
That's dead weight right there, though.
Yeah. It's a lot harder to drag a full-grown man than you realize.
I need help moving. Come on. Sir. Wake up, sir.
Wow, he got him out of there this time, huh?
Oh, shit.
They got the top boy. Airbags.
He's unresponsive.
What did this guy hit?
Look, it looks like the guardrail.
Like a
Oh,
ruptured
wow.
fuel tank.
Yeah, there's the guardrail right there. But, I mean, this is where that dude would have been had that cop not drug him out.
Mhm.
Totally burnt.
Yeah.
But that takes some courage right there.
Yeah.
Did that guy live? Do you know?
There wasn't much information on here. So I did. It started over in my ears again. Was it playing on y'all's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let me share this because this is actually talking about the officer himself. It was Lieutenant Corey Brooks. He was responding after hours to a separate incident shortly before 9 p.m. when he observed a tractor trailer hit the retaining wall and catch fire. Without hesitation, Brooks stopped and ran to the truck's cab, where he found the driver, Michael Williams, unconscious. He immediately called the incident in over his police radio, but did not wait for assistance before springing into action. Brooks pulled the driver out of the driver's seat and over the passenger seat to free him from the burning truck. The unidentified female driver assisted Brooks in pulling him safely on the opposite side of the road across 2 travel lanes. As fire and EMS arrived on the scene, the driver started to gain consciousness. Williams was unaware of the situation, but could walk on his own, according to the ambulance, where he was transported to Wake Forest Baptist Hospital. Officer Brooks was hired. He started with East Spencer Police Department, then he was hired by the Salisbury PD in 2001 and rose through the ranks up to lieutenant. He's lieutenant of the Criminal Investigations and Violent Crimes Unit. He received a number of accolades throughout his tenure, including the City of Salisbury Keys to Excellence Bronze Award, Salisbury Police Veteran Officer of the Year, the 2016 Blue Line Brotherhood Award, and the Lions Club Salisbury Police Veteran of the Year Award.
That's badass.
He holds a criminal justice degree from Livingstone College and an advanced law enforcement certificate from the North Carolina Department of Justice, and he's a member of the Omega Psi Phi fraternity. But I'm going to tell you, if you've ever seen an accident that involves fire, you might like to think that you would run in there and try to get somebody out, but it's not human nature to put yourself in harm's way. You have to make a conscious effort to do that on purpose. And that cop didn't look like he hesitated at all, which is awesome. Good job. Good job. Joe Boyd's over here on YouTube as well. Good to see you. Good to see you, Joe. Southpaw said, pull him into traffic. The only thing I can think of is it looked like the shoulder might have been bigger on the side they drug him to, is my thinking on why he went that direction with him. Because he would have had to drag him much further to get him away from that truck than, if he stayed on the same side. So that's probably why. But yeah, that was also fairly dangerous. So how far is this Chester County thing from you, Steve?
I'm in Chester County.
Okay.
Oh,
So it is right there local.
The guy was last seen 15 minutes from me.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Well, good thing you didn't come knocking on your door.
He comes knocking on my door. He's gonna be looking down the barrel of a gun.
Thanks to the Second Amendment.
Yep.
So this is from Channel 6 ABC News. I'm not going to be able to play the audio because I'm pretty sure it's going to auto copyright hit us if I do. But I want to kind of skip to. Okay, here we go. This is the part I wanted. So here's the guy, Cavalcante, I guess is his name. Danilo Cavalcante. He's a convicted murderer, and he is on the run. Watch his escape. Matter of fact, let me bring this full screen so even our faces aren't on here. Watch this escape. He climbs the fucking wall.
Damn.
like Spider-Man.
Like Spider-Man, for crying out loud. I'm gonna turn off the closed captions as well, but they're still looking for this guy. They are still looking for him. They're out there full
Battle-ready.
gear. They've got night vision goggles and everything on, looking for this fella. And this happened. Shit, what day was this? This was like. Let me see if it's on here.
They've been looking for him for 9 days.
Yeah, 9 days.
As of yesterday.
Yeah. Yep. The 7th was 1 week.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. He broke out on August the 31st.
I'm willing to bet if he was south of Longwood Gardens, he's down by Kennett Square. If he were to go further into the woods where that is, I mean, closer toward my area, there's a big area for this guy to hide. So right where you see where Longwood is on the map.
Oh, let me back it up.
So you go just to the west of there. You got not right there where Longwood is, but right to the left of where it says Longwood.
Yeah, Kennett Square.
No, to the left. Go up just a tad, right in there.
Oh,
So
right.
you're gonna there's a KOA in there. There's a bunch of campgrounds, and you can get food, and you can have shelter, and you can hide in the woods, and they need to look at over in that area.
So this is this US Highway 1. Is this a 4-lane or like a 6-lane? Or
it is 4-lane. It's 4-lane highway. Right where Longwood is, where that little loop-de-loop is, right there. That's Route 1, and if you go south from there, right into where the red is, that'll take you straight into Delaware. Right there.
What is this right here?
That's the road that goes into Delaware.
Yeah, but is it a 2-lane or
it's 2-lane?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I get that. So he escaped. Where's the prison at on here?
Well, prison's so he probably got out of George W. Hill Correctional Facility. That's in Chester. That's like a really bad part of town. I mean, it's going to be closer to Philly. It's more like Aston area.
So this area they're looking in is already some decent distance from the prison.
Yeah, it is.
So if he's I wonder why he's still on foot though.
Because he's in, I don't know, he's just trying to run, I guess. So if he's south of Longwood, down by Kennett Square, there's a lot of area in there for him to hide. Mm-hmm. There's it's insane. He's already found a backpack. He's got new clothes. So somebody had clothes out on the line. He probably got the backpack from one of the school kids. Probably left the stuff outside. I actually did some digging into this a little bit. He's actually, from what I read, he's an illegal immigrant, and he's also wanted for murder in Brazil.
Jesus. So
this guy not only killed his girlfriend in Brazil, but he killed another girlfriend here. And he stabbed her 34 or 37 times in front of her children. So that's what this guy did. And so this guy, they've already deemed him extremely dangerous. Do not approach. I mean,
hostage has been stealing vehicles.
Well, I don't know if he's gotten that point yet, but I mean, if I see him on the side of the road, I'll hit him with the car.
Yeah, Ember confirmed it was Chester County Prison. But I mean, damn, that's close to you, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's look at the Spider-Man again. So
Spider-Pig.
He's got a lookout right here.
I want to know how he got there. How did he get right there without any cops or any COs or anything like that? I want to know how he got there.
Well, I don't know what this is.
The enforcement there sucks from what I see in this camera footage right here.
Yeah, well, he's got him a lookout right here. So obviously, this is maybe the way they get in and out from the yard, for the outside activities or whatever. And he was kind of leaned up over here talking, obviously, and then just kind of eased around. And he's got his lookout right there. You can see his little lookout right there.
Yep.
Yep. There's his lookout. And then he just goes full on Spider-Man. I mean, I got to tell you, it's an ingenious way to get out.
So what do you do? Just wait for the door to open or something? I don't get it.
Oh no, you didn't see him climbing up?
No. Well, I saw him climb up, but where did he go from there?
Oh, on the roof. On the roof and out. Is what I understood it to be. Let me see. So he goes up and he's climbing up. Like this is there's a separation there.
Yeah.
For him to be able to continue up. But he goes on up, and then whatever this is, I'm sure you could stand on it, and then he's up on whatever the roof is. But yeah, like Southpaw said, nobody must have been watching that camera. And the tower patrolman for that side of the prison got fired. No pension in Brazil.
Good. He deserves it.
Yep. I mean, if you're going to work in a prison in a tower, your whole point is to make sure people don't escape.
Right.
Now, you can't stop people from trying, but your whole point of being there in that tower is to make sure they don't succeed. And yeah, some shit went wrong there for sure. But hopefully he doesn't go to Steve's house, because Steve is a big believer in the First Amendment.
Second Amendment.
I mean, the
too.
Second
And the
Amendment.
Second Amendment. And all amendments.
Yes, all of them.
Every
So
one of them.
let me. So let's bring up. Let's bring up the main topic I wanted to get to. Is there anybody out there watching that lives in New Mexico? I don't think so. As far as I know, none of the folks currently on here live in New Mexico. But in New Mexico, especially Albuquerque, and the county that Albuquerque is in, have seen a huge amount of gun-related deaths.
Mhm.
And it's Bernalillo County. I'm probably mispronouncing that. Bernalillo County. But anyway, gun violence has been on the rise in that county and in Albuquerque. Hold on. Ember's got some update here. He was seen yesterday occupying a stolen white van on security cameras. They didn't say whether he's still occupying that vehicle or if it was recovered or not, but he probably ditched it. I hope they catch his ass for sure. I mean, convicted of murder, wanted for murder in another place. That's pretty bad. But anyhow, if you live in New Mexico and you happen to be in this county and in this and in Albuquerque, you can no longer, even if you paid for your concealed carry permit, because you know they charge you for it,
Mm-hmm.
you can still not conceal carry out in public.
Say what?
You can have, yeah. So here's her details. Now, I'm gonna tell you when this shit started. This kind of bullshit and government overreach started during COVID, and we let these motherfuckers get away with it. And here's what happens: it's going to continue to get worse. Jamie might have to hide out here in a minute.
Shit, you say?
But listen to this shit, right? So I mean, I get it. All right. There was 3 kids that were recently killed within the last couple of months from drive-bys and other gun-related type shootings. And that is horrible. And the people that did that need to fucking fry, right? Or better yet, public hanging. I'm even good with for somebody that kills kids, accidental or not, when it comes to something like that. But see, where we're having problems here is the government is trying to regulate the tool, not the crime.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't keep people from killing people by taking away the shit they kill people with, because they're just going to find something else to kill them with.
Mhm.
And the people that need to protect themselves, law-abiding citizens, are no longer going to have the means to protect themselves. And then you end up with what you see in Chicago, where guns are illegal.
That's why now you get the guns before they make them illegal. This way you already got them.
Right. That's right. That's right. So let's listen to what she has to say on how she explains herself for taking away people's right to keep weapons and carry weapons on them. So here we go.
I asked the chief before the start of this just about gunshots. And we're talking in a year's time, 35,000 or more. And most people, I don't think it's all that anecdotally, but are going to tell you that there are shots fired somewhere in Albuquerque multiple times a day. And that frankly is escalating around the state, including right here in Santa Fe.
All right. So you know what that tells me?
Bullshit.
If there's a lot of gunshots happening in Albuquerque, and I live in Albuquerque, and I have a wife and kids that live in my house, and I'm a law-abiding citizen, you know what that tells me?
What's that?
That tells me I need to go buy some damn guns and ammo to have in my house for protection.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It doesn't tell me I need to no longer have access to weapons to protect myself. It tells me
So-
the exact opposite.
So
Now,
this woman here is just an idiot.
Oh, it gets better. Don't
Well-
worry. It gets better.
It gets better.
It gets better. I've seen the
Bruh.
video. It gets better.
I am so pissed because I mean, we need our government to do certain functions, to handle certain functions. The government was their original intention was for our national safety. That's kind of where it came about. When our country was formed, they were mainly interested in keeping the British from taking this shit back. That was one of the main purposes of the government in the beginning. But they also realized that at some point, if our government ever became like the British government that they were trying to get away from, we needed to have the ability to overthrow that government. Now, there's a right way to do that and there's a wrong way to do that. And I'm not advocating for overthrowing the government by any means. But that's why our rights are supposed to be protected. It's because at some point, our government is going to get to the point to where they have stripped enough of our rights away till there is going to be a rebellion like we had in 1776. Well, actually, I think it started in 1774. But anyway, listen to this shit.
So in this public health order, which is effective today, September 8th, which lasts 30 days, and then we'll, like all the other public health orders, we will either amend or renew or adjust, depending upon.
Okay.
30 days.
All right.
What are they going to amend or
Hold
renew?
on. But hold on. Here's the thing. So she has declared a day or so ahead of this. She was already planning ahead. Day or so ahead of this, she declared gun violence as a state of emergency, public health state of emergency in New Mexico. Is this familiar? Does this sound familiar? COVID 2.0, but dealing with guns instead. Right?
Yep.
So the government decided that public health was in danger because law-abiding citizens are carrying guns that they paid for the permits for, that she just suspended the Second Amendment.
Habeas corpus is suspended when it happened.
Yeah, she basically, this is a roundabout way of suspending the Second Amendment. You can have your gun in your house. You can have your gun at a shooting range. But if you want to take that gun from your house to the shooting range, it has to be unloaded, trigger locked, and unable to be operated quickly. So it is therefore a paperweight, and you will not protect yourself if you get carjacked on the way. In Albuquerque, where people are shooting the shit out of people all the time, you can't protect yourself. Because I guarantee you, the moment this came out, all the criminals in Albuquerque said, "Oh, Lord, we better leave our guns in the cabinet. We can't take these out because the governor said so."
So does she realize that no matter what she does, it can't overwrite the Constitution? Is she aware of that?
Well, by God, she just
Public health
did.
emergency, she can. That's what she thinks she can.
No.
Yeah. Now this was
It don't work that way.
dude. Look how the COVID shit rewrote the Constitution.
Well, that wasn't the Constitution that got
Yeah, it
rewritten. It was all the morons in Washington just told everybody what to do, and all the sheep listened to them.
Well,
That's what that was about.
well, yeah,
There's more
true.
sheep out there.
True,
Yeah.
but when municipalities were issuing orders and mandates that restaurants and bars and places like that couldn't open, you just took away their life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. So yes, all that violated the Constitution.
There were curfews enacted where you couldn't be out past 6 in the evening and couldn't be out before 7 in the morning.
God, they did that in Germany in World War II.
And done that
But
here.
look, but hey, we like little sheeple. people fell in line and we did it, except in Alabama, because a lot of people in Alabama didn't give a fuck.
Except for the people in this house, we didn't follow that rule either.
Indiana doesn't give a fuck either.
Yeah. Now, I had to, when I was serving legal papers, it was mandated by the company I contract with. I did have to wear a mask when approaching someone's front door. And I would, when they come out, I had to have 6 foot distance, but I could still talk to them. And I could set the papers down and see them pick them up and take them back in their house, and service was affected at that point. I didn't have to physically put it in their hand. But the moment my ass got back in my car, that mask came off, right? And I didn't drive around with my mask on. The mask ain't nothing. I mean, what is it doing? It wasn't doing anything, unless we had full respirators on that was filtering every known and possible toxin out. It wasn't going to do anything. It was strictly an exercise to see how controllable we were. And we were controllable. And now,
go ahead.
And now we're going to start seeing more of this shit. This is the first one that's coming out, or the first one I've heard about, and it's only going to get worse. This shit's going to start happening everywhere. Mark my words.
Now, the government tried that back in World War I. I think it was like 1914, 1911, somewhere around there, when the Spanish flu or something was going around, and they told everybody back then, you got to wear your masks, you got to this, you got to that, because they tried it back then. Okay, then somebody with the newspaper went over to one of the big fancy mansions or whatever that was being used by one of the senators in, I think it was New York, and they noticed that there was a massive meeting there, a dinner, and we're talking over 50 people, and all these people were in the dining room together, with no masks, and they're laughing and they're hugging and they're dancing and they're this and they're that, and they got a picture of it, and it went right in the newspaper. And then everybody who saw that picture in the newspaper said, well, wait a minute. They're not wearing masks, and they're not doing this. They're not keeping distance. They're hugging, they're kissing, they're dancing. And why do they get to do that? And I can't. And next thing you know, everybody stopped wearing the masks because everybody was smart back then. Now they just tried it again. The problem is now people are so brainwashed is that they fell right in place. And they're still wearing masks today. I even go down the street and I see people driving in their own vehicles by themselves, wearing masks, having gloves, with the face shields. Like, are you retarded or what?
All right. Well, here's my thing on the whole face mask thing, right?
Yeah.
If you want to wear one for your own protection, then by all means wear one.
Sure.
But don't do it because some talking head on TV with a government title and salary told you had to. You don't have to do shit.
When I wear it, when I grind on metal, that's when I wear a face mask. That's the only time I wear them.
I mean, and my thought process. Hey, what's up, John? Thank you. There's Stu Dorman back again with some cheese dogs with barbecue sauce. Oh Lord, so like, I've never done barbecue and cheese, but that actually sounds kind of good. I've done chili and cheese. So here's the thing though, is let's say if Megan's wearing her mask because she feels like that's protecting her, and we're going to be standing next to each other at a grocery store checkout line, why do I have to wear my mask? My mask ain't going to protect her.
Ain't going to protect you either.
Well, yeah, her mask ain't going to protect her either. But the thing is, it's like I'm all for people doing what they feel like they need to protect themselves. If you want to wear one, wear one.
Yeah, but it still does nothing.
Look, like Indiana Longnut said, he'll wear one when going to the doctor's office because you never know what the hell's floating around in there.
I won't even wear it there.
And that's good. But them little paper masks that they wear around hospitals and stuff, that don't really do shit.
Nope.
That don't really do anything.
That's what they want you to wear too, because they're scared and they don't do nothing.
None of them really work. Now, granted, it will filter out some larger stuff. There's It doesn't hurt, but it's not the end all be all, fix for all this. But anyway, we all fell into line during the whole COVID shit. They tested us. We failed. And now we're going to start seeing this stuff happen over and over and over again. So let's listen to some more about what she's got to say, because this is just one state. We're going to start seeing it in other places. Chicago already let them take their fucking guns away up there and let the criminals run wild, and people can't protect themselves legally. New York's got a lot of the same kind of laws. I don't think you can carry weapons very easily in New York either. It's not totally outlawed, but it's not easy.
Not easy at all. It's really, really hard to get a carry permit in New York.
Yeah. But now, so here in Alabama, we are now constitutional carry. And so hats off to the states that are going that way.
Georgia's constitutional carry.
I think Georgia went constitutional carry before we did.
2 years ago.
Yeah. So in Alabama, you are not required to have a concealed carry permit to carry a weapon on you concealed. Now there's still areas that you're not allowed to carry a weapon. Schools, colleges, government buildings, police departments, stuff like that. There's places you're still not supposed to have a weapon. But I'm okay with that. You don't have to go in those places, if you're telling me I can't carry a weapon anywhere in public, that's when you've overstepped your bounds. When you have a specific building that's off limits, a private business can put a sign up that says no weapons, and you have to comply with that. But Alabama went to constitutional carry. You can open carry, you can conceal carry. And that's quite a big change from what Alabama originally was, because in Alabama, you couldn't have a firearm in your car ready to shoot. Like, you had to have it unloaded, and it could not be within reach of you to quickly load it and fire it.
If I'm not wrong, South Carolina was the same way.
Yeah. And then we went to constitutional carry. So big change. Now you could buy a concealed carry permit here for about $100 a year or so, something like that. It might not have even been that much. No classes required or anything. All you had to do was give the sheriff some money, and pass a background check, which you should have passed when you bought your firearm anyway. But it was a source of income for the sheriff's department. So sheriff's departments didn't like going to constitutional carry, because now you don't have to have a concealed carry permit. Cause headed to New Mexico in a few hours. Well, I tell you what, if you're going to be around Albuquerque, guns ain't legal. Yeah, I am too. I'm sorry to hear that, Kyle.
Kenny, hurry back, man. We miss you.
Yeah. So let's pick back up here and listen to this bullshit roll out of her mouth.
On where we are. So effective immediately, no person other than a law enforcement officer or licensed security officer shall possess a firearm, either openly or concealed, within cities or counties, averaging 1,000 or more violent crimes per 100,000, and more than 90 firearm-related emergency department visits. So to put that in sort of a layman's terms, for 30 days in Albuquerque and Bernalillo County, it's the only place that meets both those standards. Statewide order, but only one place meets both criteria. We have far too many ER gunshot visits, and we have far too many crimes involving firearms.
No.
We're suspending open and concealed carry.
No. Hold on. Pause that a second. Okay. Can I like take a class action lawsuit against her for violating the Constitution? Drag that
could, probably.
I want to drag it to the Supreme Court, because she's trying to overwrite the Constitution, and it's making me like.
I got 4 court orders. I mean, lawsuits already filed in the last 22 hours.
Yes.
Well, I hope somebody goes like it's taken care of because she can't do that. She can't do that.
Oh, she can do it. Whether it stands is the question.
That's
Oh, okay. Well, there's that. She could try it, but I'd rather just kick her in the head. I don't.
So I can almost promise you that when she first declared this state of emergency a day or two ahead of this, she needed that first. She needed to declare the state of emergency, health emergency for gun violence first.
For 24 hours.
She also declared a oh shit, what's that drug? Fentanyl. She also declared certain types of drugs as a state of emergency.
Well, wait a minute. Now, what kind of fentanyl is she talking about? Because when I was in the hospital, they gave me fentanyl.
Well,
and it was the best damn drug I ever had.
Yeah, she's talking about non-prescription, of course.
Oh, okay. Well, that's different.
Fentanyl.
So Southpaw said, "Is weed legal in New Mexico?" Because I think she's on some. I don't know if it's legal there or not. I think it is. I think they do have dispensaries there. Kyle said he can have his. He's going because of the public health issue. Okay, well, you stay safe over there, House. For sure.
Make sure you like slap her upside the head for me.
Yeah, and check in with us, man. Let us know you're good over there because it sounds like Albuquerque's a fucking cesspool.
I mean, I'll jump in the car and I'll head there immediately.
I just pulled up an article from Associated Press. The Bernalillo County District Attorney, Sam Bergman, who served as a Democratic Party leader and was appointed by this governor on Saturday, has joined the Albuquerque Mayor Tim Keller and Police Chief Harold Medina, saying they would not enforce this order.
Okay.
So her own party is not even enforcing the order within the city.
Good.
And the county sheriff says he is uneasy about how he will try to enforce this. He does not want to set up his deputies to be in positions that will lead to a civil liability lawsuit. So
let me ask you something real quick, Jamie. Those cops, they swore an oath to uphold the Constitution of the United States. By them enforcing this, that would violate that oath and the Constitution, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. So how can she honestly sit there and try and enforce this, knowing that she's going against the Constitution and the oath of office that she's holding?
It's a test.
For a test. Well, she sucks at it. She sucks at it. So essentially, now I just want to clarify this: is she a Democrat or a Republican?
She's a Democrat.
You shouldn't have even had to ask that, Steve.
I just wanted to make the point. That's all. I just wanted to make the point.
That should have been obvious. Have you ever heard of a Republican member of the
very
government
rarely has ever happened
banning guns or something?
No, it doesn't happen. That's the point I'm trying to make. And if she had half a brain stem, she would see that this is something that she can't do as it is. And if the people in Albuquerque and in New Mexico, what's that?
But that's where you're wrong.
What's that?
Because she can do anything the citizens allow her to do.
Well, that's what I was getting at.
And she's hoping
those
won't
people
nobody stand up to her.
If those people love their country and their Constitution as much as anybody else in this country who wouldn't stand for that, they would definitely go up in arms about it, and they would do whatever it is they need to do to keep that from happening.
Yeah.
Because this is unconstitutional, and it shouldn't be. It should be. It should be enforced. Period.
I definitely agree. Megan, you're kind of quiet. I know. I mean, we got the whole man like guns discussion going on up here, but
I'm just letting Steve rant. Like he can do what he wants.
I mean, you're familiar with Chicago.
Yeah.
And how well is people not being able to own their own, law-abiding citizens being able to own their own weapons? How well is that going in Chicago?
Not good. I mean, nothing ever goes good in Chicago. I'll tell you that right now. But
Yeah, poor Jorge. Jorge is in Chicago, and he is always posting pictures and stuff about shootings happening in Chicago, and all this stuff. Hell, a cop just shot another cop in Chicago. We just talked about that last week.
Yep.
So I mean, let's take the guns away from homeowners and protect themselves, but let's let these law enforcement officers shoot at each other with them. Shit. But no. So I mean. And I don't. If you don't want to answer, don't answer. But have you ever shot a gun before? How comfortable are you with firearms?
I've never touched a gun personally.
Okay.
I would like to learn in a lot of ways, but I've never been comfortable with doing it by myself, or I guess like in my area. I guess because I don't. Northwest Indiana isn't terribly like bad. I mean, you've got Gary, which is probably the worst of it, but most of the area near me is okay, but once you cross into Illinois, there's a lot of dangerous areas in Illinois. Even where I work in Illinois is considered a dangerous area. So,
you work in Illinois and you live in Indiana?
Yeah.
How far of a drive you got?
15, 20 minutes.
That's not too bad.
And there's pockets of Huntsville that there's some zip codes that I dropped from serving papers because it's one of those where you almost felt like that's one of them neighborhoods you might have to shoot your way into and shoot your way out of. And it ain't worth this shit. So there's pockets of that in every major city where things get out of hand. But if being in the South, firearms and being comfortable with firearms is a lot more natural.
Yes.
A lot of us grow up around guns and hunting, and stuff. You got to carry a gun with you even when you go fishing because there might be snakes, and that kind of thing. So, we grew up comfortable, Jamie and I did. So Doolin. God damn. Doolin said he volunteers to teach you. He'll start with the pump action. So
somebody ban him.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, just kidding. But if you, Megan, if you were in line behind me at the grocery store and I had a pistol on my hip, and I was just a regular old dude checking out my groceries and stuff, or I was shopping in the same store you were shopping in, would the visibility of my firearm make you uncomfortable? There's not a wrong answer.
No, and depends on how you're appearing, I guess would be the first thing. Like, are you just standing there?
I walk around in fucking cargo shorts, dad tennis shoes, and no, I don't wear flip flops, but cargo shorts, dad tennis shoes. I mean, my dressy tennis shoes are Asics, for crying out loud, and a t-shirt. That's typically what I wear all the time. So,
I should have said body stance. I shouldn't have said actual clothing. Yeah. Like, are you?
Yeah, if I was non-threatening.
Like, are you getting impatient that the line's too long? Is there anything making you aggressive that would make me be like, all right, this dude might pull out that gun, Or are you just standing there, just minding your own business, waiting to check out and all that? If you're just standing there minding your own business, I probably wouldn't care. Because, I mean, like, if I've seen a cop come near me with a gun on the holster, I don't get nervous about it. I'm just kind of like, okay. A normal citizen, maybe a little more concerned because you don't know how trained they are with a gun.
Right.
And there's probably children in the grocery store. And I would be like, if I was with my niece or nephew, I'd probably be like, all right, stay really close to me. Because, I mean, that's just how I would be.
Yeah. But there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
I'm just kind of wondering, people that don't grow up around guns, I actually can understand the apprehension of seeing somebody with the firearm.
It's funny you brought that up because that actually happened to me when I first came back to Pennsylvania. I was in a giant grocery store. It was on Sunday. I had just gotten done at the shooting range, and I had my 45 on my hip. And I stopped by the grocery store to go get some stuff for a cookout we were having at my uncle's house. And I'm in there, and I don't remember if my dad was with me or my cousin. Somebody was with me, I think. And I'm in the grocery store, and I'm getting stuff off the shelves. I'm looking at this and checking it out. And keep in mind, it's Sunday. I just went to church. And I was at the shooting range and I had a nice button-down shirt and, my really nice blue jeans and brand new sneakers, and my sidearm was on and looking pretty decent, And this woman was standing there with her daughter, and she was giving me a look like this. And the looks on their faces cracked me up, and I laughed. And they immediately ran past me, ran all the way down over to customer service, told the guy at customer service that I had a firearm that I was waving around in the aisle. So next thing you know, this guy comes up, and he is following me around the store.
And see, that's how people get shot.
Yep.
Right.
The cops show up and think you did something.
So when I'm continuing to shop, I had my shopping cart, I'm pushing that through, and I'm getting stuff, and I'm shopping. This guy's following me around the store like he's working, and he's fixing stuff on the shelves within feet of me. And he's getting closer, and he's getting closer, and he's getting closer. And I turn and I look at this guy, and he just did one of these, and he goes, "Whoa, you can't have that in here." And I'm like, dude, don't get me started on this the Second Amendment thing, because you're gonna lose. But anyway, I told him, I said, look, I'm shopping, leave me alone, go away. And so what he did is he went and called the cops on me, told them that I was waving a firearm in the grocery store, and I wasn't doing that. There isn't a soul in that store that would have backed him up, because I definitely wasn't doing that. The cops did come, but they showed up as I was walking out to the car, and I walked up to the cop in his car, and he's getting out, and I said, "Let me guess, you're here for me." And he's like, "Yeah, you're the guy with the gun, right?" And I said, "Yep." He goes, "Were you waving it?" I said, "No." He goes, "Have a nice day."
Well, and I get this mayor trying to. Well, let's get back to this, because I do want her to dig her hole a little bit deeper before
She digs it deep as hell too.
Before I really lose my shit.
A cooling off period while we figure out how we can better address public safety and gun violence.
Oh, wait, I did forget one thing when we paused that I wanted to bring out. So she said this was for 30 days. And then at the end of the 30 days, they'll let me play exactly what she said again.
Within cities or counties, averaging.
Hold on, I'm backing it up because I want you to hear what she says about after 30 days.
100,000, and more than 90 too many ER gunshot visits can better address public safety and gun violence. Now, I am sure as I go through the rest of this that only one place meets both
I went too far.
criteria. We have far too many ER gunshot visits, and we have far too many crimes involving firearms. We are suspending open and concealed carry. The purpose is to try to create a cooling off period while we figure out how we can better address public safety and gun violence. Now, I am sure as I go through the rest of this, there are going to be a lot of questions about whether or not we think we have the legal rights to do that. I am sure that before you write this, there will be other than a law enforcement
I still miss the part that I want.
Or licensed terms for 30 days.
All right, here we go.
In Albuquerque and Bernalillo County. It's the only place that meets both those standards. Statewide order, but only one place meets both criteria, where we have far too many ER gunshot visits and we have far too many crimes involving firearms. We are suspending open and concealed carry.
Okay, I'm not finding it. I can't figure out exactly where it is. But anyway, at one point she says that it's 30 days, and then at the end of the 30 days they're going to review it so that they can amend it or adjust it. But never does she say or rescind it.
Suspend it. Yep.
She never says that there's a possibility of them rescinding this order. They're just going to amend it for another 30 days and another 30 days.
They're going to try and drag it out.
Or make it more strict and be like, okay, well, now we're going to expand it into these counties.
Statewide, eventually.
Yeah.
Linda, what's
So-
up with the finger and hand thing? I'll tell you, I'm hard of hearing. I'm pushing the speaker against my ear so I can hear.
No,
That's
not
what's
that
up.
one. Not
I
that
think
one. She's talking about her.
Oh, okay, all right.
She that's that evil shit she's doing where she knows she's fucking the public.
Is that what it is?
In New Mexico, and she's excited about the power she's got, or she thinks
Yeah.
she's got. But I can almost promise you that as soon as she issued this order, well, not this order, but when she first declared the state of emergency, lawyers were already drafting lawsuits at that point because they knew what was coming. They knew what was coming.
Really?
Yeah. That is exactly the problem, Southpaw. There are a lot of shootings, but it's not law-abiding citizens leaving their house going and shooting people.
That's a fantastic point right there.
Yeah. And so you can't regulate law-abiding citizens to stop criminals. Criminals don't give a shit what your law says. That's why they're criminals. I mean, for real. But let's let her keep digging here a little bit.
And I can't tell you that we win it, given all of the different challenges to gun violence laws and restrictions on individual firearm access and control. I think it's time we have a really strong debate about all the other constitutional rights. No one right now in New Mexico, and particularly in Albuquerque, is safe in a movie theater.
Did you hear what she said right there? Listen to what she says.
Constitutional rights.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Public safety and gun violence. Now, I am sure as I go through the rest of this, there are going to be a lot of questions about whether or not we think we have the legal rights to do that. I am sure that before you write this, there will be a legal challenge. And I can't tell you that we win it, given all of the different
So she knows this is going to be challenged, and she's not even sure she's going to win this.
Restrictions on individual firearm access and control. I think it's time we have a really strong debate about all the other constitutional rights.
Whoa!
Did you hear that?
Whoa!
Yep.
Did you hear that?
They want you to throw away your constitutional rights now. They want to take that off of you so they could take you under their thumb and tell you what to do at every chance they can. And that's exactly what that's about.
I don't think she meant to say that.
She did. She
I
did.
don't
She
think
did
she
say it.
meant to say that in that
Wow,
word.
she may not have meant it, but she said it, so it's there, and that's how I took it. So,
Yeah. So it's like we're stripping this constitutional right away from you, and I think it's time we sit down and have a real debate on what we're going to do about all these other constitutions.
so is she related? Is she related to Biden?
No, I don't think so.
She's
in
not
the same
related.
party.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, she's related to Biden somehow because she said something stupid that she wasn't supposed to. That's what they want to do. That's
well,
what we want to do, but we're not supposed to say that.
yeah, I don't
Not
know.
yet.
I don't know, man. I think that she is I think that she is actually speaking for herself. And she doesn't have to have help like Biden does. To come
Oh,
up with
she's
her
going to
statement.
need help. By the time these people are done with her, she's going to need all the help she can get. I guarantee it.
Yep.
No one right now in New Mexico, and particularly in Albuquerque, is safe in a movie theater, at a park, at a school, at a grocery store, at an Isotopes game, at the university, at the grocery store, I think I said, getting your prescriptions, at work. You just aren't safe. I can't guarantee it. And neither can the men and the women who put on a uniform.
Did you catch that?
She's pissing me off every
you're-
time she opens her mouth.
You're not safe when you go anywhere. And I can't say that law enforcement can protect you either.
But you can't have a gun.
But goddamn, we're taking your guns from you. So you can't even protect yourself. What the fuck? I mean,
Citizens of New Mexico, move out. Move out now.
come on.
Let her
over
govern
here.
herself.
Come on over here to Alabama where there's constitutional carry. But I get her wanting to do something to help with the gun violence and
Yes.
kids getting killed and stuff. And I 100% agree that something needs to be done.
Sure, but she's going about it the wrong way.
But you can't take away. So here's a big misconception, right? I hear people say this all the time. When somebody says, what gives you the right to carry a firearm? Well, the Second Amendment to the Constitution gives you the right to carry a firearm. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. And that this is I'm playing semantics here, but this is the way it really is if you really think about it. The Constitution does not give us any rights. The Constitution
Guarantees.
backs up the fact that we already have those rights. Right? That's why they're called certain unalienable rights, meaning you can't take them away.
Right.
And the point of them being listed in the Constitution is so that something like this can't be done. Right? It is protecting our rights, not giving them to us. It's putting them down on paper that they already exist and that the government can't touch them.
And there's a reason it's the Second Amendment to the Constitution, only trumped by the First Amendment of free speech, freedom of religion. Second Amendment protects every other amendment in the Constitution, including the first one.
And the whole reason that the founding fathers thought that we needed to be able to keep and bear arms was to protect ourselves from a tyrannical government.
Right. And they made it the Second Amendment in case the First Amendment tried to fail.
Yep.
Right. And the First Amendment, good night, Dylan. Take it easy, brother.
They're doing
The First Amendment is, freedom of religion, freedom of press, freedom of speech. And the reason for that is the government shouldn't be able to control what you think and feel and say, and they shouldn't be able to control whether you worship, how you worship, what you worship. And they should not be able to control the press, because the press is responsible for bringing out shit like this when the government oversteps its authority. The press is there to give transparency and accountability to our government and to spread that information to the people so that we know how to handle ourselves at the voting booth the next time. If I hope that tomorrow morning, Monday morning, I hope that someone files something to impeach this governor.
They've already got two New Mexico representatives of the House filing paperwork for impeachment.
good.
Now I don't know how the New Mexico legislature is stacked as far as if it's mostly Democratic or Republican. I think it's mostly Democratic, so she's probably not going to get impeached. But I'm not 100% sure.
Now, Wiz, you can't change the Constitution, but it can be amended.
Yeah.
They can put an amendment in, but you can never change the Constitution. The Constitution is how it is.
And I'm not sure. I think that there's been attempts to alter the Bill of Rights before, but that has been deemed to be pretty much untouchable.
Yeah.
Now, you might not can change the Constitution, Wiz, but our legal system helps not rewrite the Constitution, but it helps guide how constitutional law is handled. So, like, for example, if there's lawsuits filed for this, it's going to go through some appellate courts and stuff, and those courts' decisions set precedent for whether she has the power to do this or if it's unconstitutional. And so when it gets to the Supreme Court of the United States, if the Supreme Court says, yes, a governor can do this, then the Supreme Court basically just shit all over the Second Amendment themselves, right? That's how you don't change the actual Constitution. You just change how it's interpreted by the courts for future cases. So if that answers your question, it's confusing, but that's how it is. A little bit
every day. In that regard, I think it's time to talk about the absoluteness of the discussion and the current court actions that suggest that the Second Amendment is an absolute right and none of the others are. And I'm sure you're going to ask me what I think my chances are. And again, if it opens up the door to the kinds of public safety that keep kids safe, I'm willing to take it on.
It's for the kids.
In addition to that 30-day suspension, and I want to make sure I clarify that suspension does not apply to any private property. Responsible gun owners are certainly not our problem, have never been our problem. And I appreciate the impact that this has, but on private property, this has no bearing. But you on the premises, and it has no application on the premises of a licensed firearm dealer or gunsmith for the purposes of lawful transfer or repair of a firearm. While engaged in the legal use of a firearm at a properly licensed firing range or sport shooting competition venue. While you're traveling to and from a location dealing with your firearms, they have to be in a locked box or they have to have a trigger lock. So that's how we support responsible firearm owners in their daily.
Yeah, keep it locked up so you can't use it if somebody runs up on you with a gun in your car.
This chick's an asshole.
Yeah, I mean,
She really is.
I think her end goal of protecting kids is a noble one, and I'm all for that. But you just can't do it this way. It's not going to work. It hasn't worked in other cities that have done it. It doesn't work in New York. It doesn't work in Chicago. It's not going to work in Albuquerque. What we have in our country is a mental illness problem that needs to be dealt with. People that kill other people have something wrong. Now, I don't know what the fix is. And I'm not going to sit here and try to act like I do know what the fix is, because I have no idea what's going to fix this world. We are broken. We are a broken people. And until we respect one another as human beings and we value everybody else's life, then that's the kind of stuff that's going to happen. People piss me off all the time, but not once have I ever thought about killing somebody, because I value other human life. And so that where that disconnect has happened to where somebody out there does not value other human life, that's the problem. I don't know how to fix it.
Public hanging.
I actually do kind of think if public executions came back, that might change a little bit.
You know, it worked in the past, man. They televised it and people tuned in to watch it, and it's like, you do anything wrong and you're going to end up like that guy right there.
I mean, and I don't know. I mean, that's a topic for a whole lot of other people that
Sure.
are a whole lot more smart than me to figure out on what to do to fix it. But I just know you just can't put other law-abiding citizens in danger because the criminals are misbehaving.
A quick question for you.
Yeah.
Do you know if she's looking to suspend current licensed firearms holders or pending CC
Current? Yes. If you have a concealed carry permit, you can still have your weapon ready to go in your house. Great. I think that's a good exclusion.
Sure.
Thank you, Governor. You're only fucking us 2 ways instead of 3. Thank you. But if you're going to take it from your house to the gun range, it has to be unloaded and locked. So
I'm not okay with that.
It can't be ready to fire. So in essence, your concealed carry permit is null and void for this 30 days. It doesn't matter. you cannot carry it on your person anywhere except on private property, and you can't get it from one private property to another private property without having it locked up. Now, I read it, and it sounds to me like when she mentions private property, it sounds to me like that means your residence, your private property.
Mm-hmm.
You can't carry it on somebody else's private property. It's your private property, excluding licensed and registered shooting ranges. So that's the only two places you can have a weapon that's not locked up and unable to be used quickly. So it's disturbing. There's a lot more to this, and there's going to be a lot coming out in the courts soon.
Yeah.
I'm anxious to see how some of this comes out, but this is the first governor that I've seen or heard from that's trying to see how she can control her sheeple in her state.
Well, I hope them people in that state are smarter than that. I really do.
And we're gonna have this COVID 2.0 where they're gonna tell us some more bullshit.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? If you noticed, there's some kind of an epidemic. There's some kind of a virus. There's some kind of a sickness that seems to go around every 4 years around election time. Have you noticed that?
Yeah. Dude, there is some tragedy or some major thing that has to happen every election cycle.
Oh, we lost your audio.
My audio?
It sounded like it was going through your camera there for a minute.
Oh, am I still there?
You're good now. You're good now. I don't know what happened. That was weird.
No telling.
Okay.
All right. So well, maybe I don't know if we've got bad weather happening out there or not. I don't think so. But I guarantee you there's going to be more attempts from the government, local, state, and national, to control us more and more and more. And at some point we've got to stand up and say no more.
I agree with you.
Be individuals. Make your own decisions. Don't do stupid shit. Don't storm the fucking Capitol, because that is not how you protest against your government.
Nope.
Don't use violence. But if you're not happy with what your government's doing, make your voice heard. It matters. Everybody's voice matters. Megan, you gonna learn how to shoot guns?
Hopefully one of these days. I mean, we do have a gun in our house. I just don't know where my dad has it, but we do have a gun. I know that much.
I mean, hey, if he knows how to use it, you've got one there for y'all's protection, then that's great.
He had a permit in Illinois. Indiana is a constitutional carry state, so we don't have to have a permit for it. So
could y'all see Megan's ass bebopping up in to go get her nails or hair done? She's got her pistol on her side. She's like, "What's up, bitches? I need my nails done."
I can see her running around with an AR-15. Sure.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well, and I like having the ability to carry a weapon on me. I do not carry one on me when I'm serving papers. I have one. It's not on me. Because I think that I wouldn't open the door to somebody in plain clothes with a firearm on their hip if it was me.
Nope.
But if I do encounter an issue and I can get to my car, and even though I'm knocking on 50 or getting close to 50, I still can jog pretty quick.
Especially if something's chasing you.
Yeah. I surprised many a young dumbass in my years catching shoplifters that thought because I was so much older than them they could outrun me, and they found out real quick when I'm trying to get my shit back from you, I'm gonna chase you down most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like having the ability to carry a pistol on me if I choose to. And there are times that I will have one, but I will not while I'm serving papers, because I'm not going to walk up to somebody's house with a gun on. I think that's asking for trouble. And I think that, responsible gun owners need to think about certain things like that, right? There shouldn't have to be a law that says don't carry your firearm onto school property.
Right.
There shouldn't be a law that says don't carry your firearm into the bank. There shouldn't have to be a law that says don't carry your firearm into the police department. That should be common sense. But we got to have all these laws because of the criminals that don't care about the law. But they gotta have it there so that they have a way to charge them with it. And I get it. Maybe her reasoning for doing this is so that they can enhance the arrest if they arrest somebody involved in gun violence. Maybe that's the purpose. I don't know. Either way, it's still wrong, and it puts law-abiding citizens at risk in these dangerous places like Albuquerque. So, final thoughts, Jamie.
I'll say this, referencing to the Albuquerque. When I'm carrying, I lost all my weapons in a tragic boating accident. But when I was carrying, you never knew I had one on my side because I was carrying a full length pistol with a double stack mag in it, and it was either on my side in a full double action holster. It's both passive and active retainment, or I had one under my arm and everything came close to me. So you would never know I was carrying. If I was in New Mexico and this was going on, you would never know I was carrying either, because to even know I was carrying, I was either going to have to use it or you're going to have to stop me and frisk me, because you're going to have a reason to stop me to begin with, because I'm not volunteering any information. I'm carrying one on me at all. So, but yeah, I think this governor is trying to set precedents just to see how far the sheep will let her go.
Yeah.
And I said, I've been reading the entire time we're talking over here. There's already 4 lawsuits filed against her from several gun organizations, private citizens. Some of the top officers in the county and the city are not going to enforce it. The district attorney said he's not enforcing it. The mayor is not enforcing it. So right down the line, she's not even got any support from her own constituents on it.
Well, they say they're not going to enforce it. What they really mean is they're going to selectively enforce it.
Right.
Which is, if they catch a criminal in a gun crime, they're going to use that as an enhancement, probably. Mm-hmm. Which I'm okay with that. But add an enhancement charge for gun, increase the penalty for gun crimes. Don't take away law-abiding citizens' rights to carry those weapons. Right. Make it tougher on the criminal that uses them incorrectly or violently, right? Steve, final thoughts.
You sort of already know my thoughts on it, but I hope.
Well, just sum it up real quick.
Real quick, huh?
Yeah.
200 words
I honestly hope that one of them lawsuits involves the NRA. I hope they're going after her as well.
Oh, I imagine it probably does.
If it doesn't, I encourage the NRA to go after her as well, because
if they haven't filed one yet, I'm sure they will be filing one.
Yeah, I hope they do. I hope it's in there. I hope it's going to be filed. Whatever. She don't have the right to do what she's doing, and she knows it, and she's trying to get away with it, and that's just kind of how it is. And just what you said, she's trying to see how many sheep are out there that'll lead the herd. Herder. No, shepherd, whatever. Anyway, you know what I mean. The more she talked, the more she pissed me off, and I just like.
Well, there's a lot more to this video. Now I linked a couple of different versions of it in our private Discord channel. So if get you a cold beer to calm you down or something, and then watch that and see. Megan, final thoughts from you, ma'am?
Oh,
hey, there's Stacy.
Stacy made it in right at the tail end.
Hi, puppies. As far as like gun violence goes, no one has the answer. I mean, that's just the whole fact of the matter is no one has the answer for it. It drives me insane with Chicago that things just continue to go the way they do, and that's one reason I'm so glad I'm out of Illinois now for the most part. But I mean, I'm probably one of the few people that has never fired a gun, never even touched a gun, never really thought about owning a gun until recently.
Well,
And
you're the only one on this panel,
yeah, that's true.
probably.
I'm sure there's more people. Like,
Stacey's from Alabama. You've seen a gun. You've handled a gun.
but yeah, I don't have a lot of knowledge on guns. You know, everybody can talk about, oh, this, and this, and I have no knowledge of it. I just, if I see a gun, I tend to look in fear. That's generally, you know, even if it's sitting on a holster, I tend to be like a little nervous. I'm like, all right, what's gonna happen? But maybe that's just, you know, maybe I gotta be the tougher person in that and learn how to use one and everything and feel a bit better with it, you know.
Well, I mean, I don't think that anybody that doesn't there's a lot of
Is that laundry?
yeah, what's all that behind you there?
Is that your laundry, Stacy?
No, it's bedrolls. Go ahead.
Bed rust. Okay. But I mean, I don't you have to really be ready to have a firearm. There's a lot of responsibility that comes with that. And the main thing I would tell anybody that's thinking about getting a firearm is if you're getting one, not knowing if you're prepared to use it, don't get it.
Right.
You have to be mentally prepared for the fact that if you get one, it is for your and your family's protection, and you have to be ready to use it so that it doesn't get used on you.
Right.
It's the first thing you're taught in any training course is don't pull it out if you're not ready to use it.
And that's a tough hurdle for people to get past. So don't rush that. You know, make sure you're comfortable with it. I don't know who in the fuck this is here, but let's.
It's a fake account. I block them.
Okay.
There we go. Bye bye.
He's on the way a second.
So
right.
Stacy, did you have anything else to add? Megan?
No.
I caught a little bit at the end. I mean, look, man.
Well, wait,
I'm going to chime in on the gun safety thing.
But hold on, I
have
have a question for you before that.
What?
How you feeling today after that Alabama game?
I have counseling set up.
Yeah, that was a big shock to a lot of people, I think.
This was the big one for me. Which side? Yeah, this is the big one for me though.
Okay. What's that supposed to be?
That's
Kind
George
of butterfly?
No.
That's a better team over that one.
I don't. It looks like a falcon.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah.
So your thoughts on what you did catch with the whole?
Yeah. No. I caught a little bit. I literally got done, went and changed into civvies while my phone was like sitting out there playing, so you get the view time. You're welcome.
I appreciate that.
But I walked in when you guys were talking about like gun safety and stuff like that. I caught a little bit of what was going on. But no, I mean, I don't really have an opinion on that, just being that I didn't hear the whole thing.
Okay, so I'll quickly sum it up for you. So the governor of New Mexico,
I saw that,
has put in an emergency health
suspension of the Second Amendment.
Yeah, she suspended open carry and concealed carry, even if you have a permit, in Albuquerque and Bernalillo County, the county that Albuquerque's in, because of the amount of guns.
That is like the number one county in New Mexico that you need a gun in.
Yeah, right. So that's the gist of it.
Yeah, they didn't just choose to set Breaking Bad there because they like the way Albuquerque sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm reading Wizard's comment. I get it. Like, I get where she's coming from, but I wouldn't say a suspension. I feel like taking guns away, period, is a pretty bad idea.
Right.
Because the people that aren't supposed to have them are still going to have them.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. But on that note, to back you up, don't have it if you're not ready to use it.
Yep.
It's not a scare tactic. It's not a scare tactic. Like you said earlier, it's a tool.
Right.
I'm not reaching into the toolbox to pull out a fucking 10mm if I'm not going to use it.
And you know your own mindset, right? You should know if you're more of a danger with the firearm out in public than
what. I could never hurt anybody.
Well, I'm just saying each individual should know and should be honest with themselves and say, okay, I don't know how to use this well enough to carry it out in public yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm only going to shoot the wrong people when I'm trying to help.
Yeah, that's the thing. I know people who like they don't know how to use a gun. They know that it is ready for the trigger to be pulled. That's what they know.
Yeah.
In case they have to use it, but they don't know enough to carry it out in public.
Right.
Well, then they need a firearm safety course then.
That's where each
Yeah.
individual
Yeah.
needs to police themselves on whether they're ready or not to carry one. Now, if someone, I think we need to have two things happen. Let's increase some of the penalties for gun violence, especially if it's against a child, like at a school or something like that. If a child is the one that's hurt, and then two, let's bring back public executions and see if that starts getting people's attention. Because if you watch somebody hang from the courthouse for 1.5 to 2 minutes because their neck didn't snap, and you got to watch that, and you think that if you commit certain crimes that might be you, that used to work back in the day. Let's try it again.
You know, I got a great idea for that. Hold a pay-per-view event. Make some money on that sucker.
I mean,
all that money goes back into the tax system.
Yeah.
I don't want it to all be a spectacle or anything necessarily like that, but I mean, I just think that because we see a news article that says, okay, well, Alabama put such and such to death, last night, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. But
and you just read it and that's it. But if you saw it, the next time that bitch cuts you off in traffic, you think twice before you jumped out.
Just hang a rope out the window.
Well, no, I'm just saying you would think twice before you jumped out and did some stupid shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
All right.
Heck yeah, man.
Any other closing thoughts there, Stacy?
Yeah, don't do drugs.
Yeah. I was thinking and praying for you when I saw that score.
No, Falcons won 24-10. I'm not really worried about Alabama. Those are kids.
Okay.
I did yell at my TV though.
Okay, I bet you.
Hey, bro, I got internet if you get
But
All right.
it.
All right. Any other thing before we head out, y'all?
Nope.
I do want to go ahead and give some fair warning. I have ordered a new PC. There is a chance that my entire office will be torn apart and moving shit around and get new stuff hooked up. If I can't get all that done, excuse you. If I can't get it done,
what I pay you for?
Before Sunday, I'll post an announcement. We may have to postpone the show until I can get all that shit done. But I'm gonna try not to mess up too much stuff. But I only got so many plugins, so I don't know if I can have both of them hooked up and going at the
He's
same
gonna come
time.
back sounding like a bad PBS audio show. Once your birdhouse glue is dried, you can successfully let birds in.
Yeah, I'm hoping that everything transfers okay. It might take me a bit. So that's it. Y'all have a good week. I'm sure more shit will happen out there. I had to actually cut a lot out that I wanted to talk about this week because this one was so near and dear to my heart that I knew I was going to bitch and moan and raise hell about it for quite a while.
Along with
Yeah. After Megan heard us all grunt around like cavemen with our clubs, thank you for sticking it out, Megan. I appreciate that. But anyway, that's going to do it for us. Hopefully we will see you next week, God willing, and the creek don't rise. And y'all take care. Thank you so much for hanging out. We love you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief. Know what I want, so I'll take it on. I've made mistakes, but mistakes make you strong. Let's break it down for a minute. I want the crown, I'm gon' get it. You hear me loud, man, I'm winning. Yeah, Charlie Sheen will be grinning. These ladies know that I'm sinning, and this is just the beginning. I'm closing in the ninth inning. There ain't no point in resisting. Living life like a dream, live it right, that's the thing. Every night got a team.